Hello, ACGC students. Welcome to Statistics for Business. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of our Moodle course so you can find all the information you need for a successful semester. When you first open the Moodle page, you'll see our course banner image as well as the course description that comes directly from the course outline. This is an introductory statistics course where we'll cover both descriptive and inferential statistical analysis. We will focus on business applications and we will use Microsoft Excel to perform statistical calculations in this course. Next, you'll have a brief description of how to navigate the course, but we're going to go over all of these elements in the video today. And finally, at the top of the course, you'll find the announcements forum. The announcements are very important because I'll be using them to distribute weekly emails that tell you what you'll need to do that week in order to stay on track and meet the assigned deadlines for the course. So watch out for those weekly emails that will tell you what to do for each week of the course and also give you some important reminders. In terms of each of the sections in the course, the first one is called Instructor Information, and just what it sounds like, it tells you a little bit about me, your professor for the course. My name is Jenna Goose. I am located at Cambrian in room 3133G, but you can also contact me by my email and by phone. As an online student, you most likely might not be in Sudbury, so the fastest way to get in contact with me will be by email. I'll respond within 24 hours on business days. If you'd like to meet with me, please just send me an email and I can meet with you in person if you are in Sudbury, or any time over Zoom that we're both available. Just send me an email and we can set up an appointment. The next important section is the course information section. Because this course is being offered with asynchronous delivery, we won't meet in person. The only exception to the in-person requirement will be for the final exam. The final exam must be written in person, and as we approach the end of the course, I'll distribute more information about how you can book that. It doesn't have to be in person at Sudbury, but it does have to be in an invigilated environment at an improved testing center. Other than that, all of your learning materials will be shared via Moodle, so you'll be able to access everything you need for learning here. If you have questions, you can also contact me by email anytime, and I am available to meet with you one-on-one if you have questions. In important documents, I've included both the course outline and the course syllabus. Course outlines at Cambrian follow a standard format. First, you have the information for the course and the course description. Following that, you have the learning outcomes for every single program that this course is taken within. Here are yours for professional accounting practice. You have a list of topics covered in the course and then learning outcomes and objectives that correspond to those topics. The learning outcome is kind of the big topic that you're learning, and the objectives are each of the little points you'll learn to work towards the big learning outcome. What's important about the learning outcomes in this course is that there are 7 learning outcomes, and I will be using those 7 learning outcomes to organize the course into 7 modules. You can see them here, from learning outcome 1 to learning outcome 7. So they will form the structure of the course. The course outline also includes information about the supplies you will require and your grading methods, but I'll talk to you more about those when I go back to the Moodle page. The other important document is the syllabus. The syllabus tells you what you should be covering every single week. So in the first week of the course, you should be introducing yourself to the overall course structure and completing lesson 1-1, Intro to Statistics. And then every week after that, you'll have 1 lesson to complete, but these lessons will be completed asynchronously through Moodle. You can see what course objectives we'll be covering. Those are exactly from the course outline. So for example, in the first lesson, we'll cover 1.1 all the way through to 1.6. And it also includes the textbook chapters you can do additional reading from that correspond to that learning, as well as evaluation deadlines, all the way to the end of the course. On the last page of the syllabus, you'll find more information about the assessments in the course. and I'll talk to you more about those when we go back to Moodle as well. For required resources, the textbook in this course is very easy to access because it's an online free textbook. If you click the link right here, it will bring you to the text. This text can be accessed either fully online if you click view online, or you can download a PDF copy if you want to keep it saved to your computer if you won't always have internet access. If I click view online, I can start reading the book right away. In the first learning outcome and first module of material, we'll be covering chapter 1 of the textbook, these sections here. You also need Microsoft Excel, but all students are provided with Microsoft Excel access for free using their @mycambrian email. If you click this link here, there's a description on how you can download Excel using your Cambrian credentials. That's your Cambrian email access. There's also a couple of other links. I've included a link to an introductory survey. That's some questions so I can get to know you a little bit better. Since we won't be meeting face to face, I like to learn a little bit more about who you are and what your goals for the course are. So please complete that survey. It only takes about 10 minutes and gives me important information to help you in the course. I also have an anonymous feedback form you can use anytime throughout the course to recommend changes to the course. If there's anything you really love, let me know. If there's anything you really don't like, you can use the forum to let me know anonymously. I also have a general link to the Academic Success Backpack. That is a resource created by Cambrian College to let you know what resources are available at the college to help you. And that is the introductory course information. For assessments, you'll have 2 types, applied activities and a test exam. So for applied activities, there will be 6 in the course, each worth 10%. Most of them cover 1 learning outcome, but some cover 2. Applied activities are open book, so that means you can use your course notes, you can use your class recordings. The things you are not allowed to use is you cannot get help from another person. They must be completed independently, and you cannot use AI. These will be available in Moodle and also submitted in Moodle. For example, the first applied activity will open in a couple of weeks' time, but it won't be due until the end of September on Friday, September 26th. So you'll have like 2 weeks to work through that applied activity before it's due. As long as you hand it in before the deadline, you can take as much time in those 2 weeks as you need. And as we progress through the course, you'll typically have at least 1 week to complete all of the applied activities. These will be completed in Excel and involve analyzing real-world data sets. The exam is a little bit different because it must be completed in an invigilated environment. That means it must be supervised. It is a cumulative exam worth 40%, which is required by the CPA. The exam will be about 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes in length, and is completed on a computer as you need to use Excel. You, again, cannot use notes, external resources, another person, or AI to help you. This is an individual exam, and that's why it must be supervised. As we progress throughout the course, I'm going to send more detailed information about how you can book the exam, either at Cambrian or another test center, to make sure that you're supervised during that exam. Yeah, as we progress through the course, I'll provide lots more information about what you need and to get you all set up. So don't worry about it, but if you have any questions about the exam, feel free to reach out. Next is the learning outcome sections. This is what you're actually learning in the course, and each one will be structured in the same way. First, you have the title of the module, Introduction to Statistics, and then you have the recommended dates that you should be completing this within. So in the first week of the semester, you should complete this first learning outcome. It's very short. It's only 1 quick lesson on what statistics is, so you should be able to finish this in the first week of the semester. All of the learning outcome sections will have 3 sections: lesson notes, homework, and evaluations. In the lesson notes sections, just like it sounds like, that's your learning materials. There's a lesson 0 in this first learning outcome that just asks you some questions about the course content. It's basically a little tiny quiz. It's not graded, so it's just a practice quiz to make sure that you've looked through the course syllabus, the course outline, and the Moodle page to make sure you're prepared for the course. If there's any questions that you're not sure about the answer, this will tell you if you're right or wrong. So how would you know what to do each week? You could check the announcements, or you can look in the course syllabus. Both will tell you what to do each week, so you can check to see if you're right or wrong, just so that you know how to stay organized throughout the course. Like I said, it's not graded. It's just meant to give you a little bit more information so you can make sure that you have all the info you need to be successful. And then you have your first real lesson. Lesson 1-1, Intro to Statistics. This is what you should work through during the first week. All lessons will start with the course header image, the learning outcome that's covered, and the learning objective that's covered, as well as the estimated time it will take you to complete the lesson. Then if you go to the next page, you're going to have a blank Excel note. All the notes in this class will be provided in Microsoft Excel. So simply click this link right here and it will download the Excel file for you. You can see it here. Once you open it up, what you'll do is you're going to complete this lesson. You can see it has lots of blanks. How you'll complete it is by watching this video recorded lesson. So this video recorded lesson is just over 1 hour in time. You can stop it. You can watch little chunks at a bit. You can watch it all at once, however you prefer. But this video shows you how to complete the lesson note. And then my completed solution file with the answers for all of the completed section is also found here. So all of the lessons with asynchronous self-paced learning will be structured the same way. You download the notes, complete them watching the video, and then the solution file is also provided. Once you're done the lesson, there's also homework questions. Here I tell you which lesson the homework corresponds to, what chapter of the textbook. If you click the link, it brings you directly to the homework. So you don't have to scroll through the book looking, it brings you directly there. And then I tell you which question numbers to do. So I usually give questions with solutions. So for example, question number 2, if you click the link for 2, it will bring you right to the answer. So if there's any questions you're not sure of, you'll have the solutions because the questions that I chose, which are the even numbered questions, have solutions in the textbook. And then finally, the evaluation section is just a reminder of when the graded assessment is due. The first applied activity is not on just the first lesson because the first lesson is so short. It's actually on the material from Learning Outcome 1 and Learning Outcome 2 that will open during the second week of the term. So you'll have quite a lot of time before the first assignment that's graded is due. But once it is available, it will open here. So you'll be able to view it and start it whenever you've completed the material from both Learning Outcome 1 and Learning Outcome 2. And all of the learning outcomes will have that same structure throughout the entire course with lesson notes, homework, and evaluation reminders. So that is how your Moodle page will be formatted for this semester. If there's anything that's unclear, if you have any questions, please send me an email and I can answer your questions by email, or we can set up an appointment to meet in person or over Zoom. I look forward to having you in my class this semester. Thanks so much for watching this video.